In this video, we are going to talk about the top 10 child prodigies from around the world. So before starting, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for future updates. God bestowed great talent on a few chosen individuals. Some people are born with this miraculous talent from a young age. They are extremely intelligent and brilliant. They typically displayed abilities similar to those of highly accomplished adults in particular fields before the age of 10, which is why the label child prodigy is applied to them. Throughout history, there have been many young prodigies, some of whom go on to lead productive adult lives. Here are the top 10 child prodigies from around the world. Number 10. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Classical music demands a high degree of expertise in each sound, which must be upheld, honed, and sung with both vocal and instrumental precision. As far as we are aware, Mozart's music has been renowned for ages. But, a young artist has been partly forgotten by many today. In fact, some may have never even heard of him before. It is a known fact that today's youth do not value the traditional sound of real music and unquestionably do not recognize the artistic value of combining vocalizations to the rhythm of the numerous instruments played simultaneously throughout. The sound generated by this must be heard with the ears of a true music listener in order to be fully appreciated. Number 9. Karina Oakley. Young girls can play all day long, much like Karina, but with a slight variation. They are known to play with dolls, tea sets, and be interested in Barbie and cartoons. Being the only child in the Fraser family, Karina is exceptionally smart and mature for her age. In fact, once you hear her speak, you won't even notice her age because she can hold a conversation at an adult level with proper speech mannerisms, which even the older children lack in terms of imaginative context, sentence structure, and vocabulary. She was given an IQ test after being identified as an incredible child prodigy by a child psychologist, and the results shocked her mother by reaching a score of 160. Which, in my opinion, is unquestionably superior to the mental capacity and brain strength of the average child. Number 8. Jennifer Pike. Although this young woman is undoubtedly no longer a child prodigy, she undoubtedly was when she was younger. Her ability to draw in young men her age from all over the world with the alluring sound of her melodic violin style has earned her the title of former BBC Young Artist of the Year. She is now a mature young woman. Being a violinist requires a certain amount of art in your hand movements in order to invoke or capture the feelings of someone, or rather to play a symphony of harmonic vibes that is potent enough to harp on that person's heartstrings. Being a violinist isn't simple and is definitely not something that just anyone can pick up and play. At least with a piano, you could run your fingers across the keys and figure out what tune sounds nice. Number 7. William James Sidis. A collection of basic mathematical rules that eventually lead to the solution of any equation constitute the foundation of all mathematics in general. While thinking about things, it's an art to use portions of your brain that you don't often use. This is where advanced thinking is needed and where child prodigy William James of the 19th century has topped it. When most boys his age would be playing with toys, having temper tantrums, or sleeping, he began reading concise English at the age of 2 and began typing original French work at the age of 4. It didn't take him long to come up with his first formula, which would allow him to cleverly identify the day of the week for any given historical date. This is what we may simply refer to as brainiacs and God-given mental powers in humans. Being such a prodigy at only 12 years old, the lad entered university at a time when most children are still in primary school. Number 6. Andrew Halliburton. The typical nerdy kid you can bully and take for granted is not Andrew Halliburton. What is it about young children who look down on clever students instead of learning a thing or two from them? Even that wouldn't fill their pea-sized brains because they lack the desire to study. Many young children undervalue or mock others for being exceptionally intellectual. From before he turned 2, Andrew has had a natural aptitude for learning. To his advantage, by the time he was 8 years old and beginning to study arithmetic with secondary students, he had become a genius. He was fortunate to have to skip so many years of school or to have spent his time learning things he probably already knew. This is about the biggest academic leap anyone can make. Number 5. Neil Thompson. Not everyone is as brilliant as Andrew or possesses the aptitude necessary to meet certain high standards in mathematics, like Neil Thompson might. Like many other teenagers, Neil is a regular young man with amazing talents. Hit that. Certainly, when it comes to solving some difficult math problems, he puts everything on the line. This is especially the case because we let the geniuses go on with their genius stuff. Young Mr. Thompson, on the other hand, has already enrolled at Cambridge University and is working towards a degree there, giving him the advantage of finishing university before his contemporaries ever start because he showed aptitude for mathematics at a young age like Andrew. Number 4. Megan Ward. The amount of intelligence displayed and brilliant ideas expressed on the spur of the moment as they speak would amaze someone to the greatest extents. These little kids have a burst of intelligence, wit, imagination, and creativity brewing like cast iron inside them that really tires somebody out just by listening. It's extremely uncommon for a young child, say, 10 or 12, to be able to make a legendary recommendation about how to improve something and then turn that concept into a working innovation, as prodigy Megan Ward did with her anti-smoking keyring, which is already being manufactured. And what makes her even more remarkable is not her age, but the fact that despite being dyslexic, she is still a fully normal God's child and has a bright, innovative, and visionary mindset. If she is coming up with anti-smoking inventions at such a young age. Number 3. Gregory Smith. It requires a visionary, someone with the same tenacity as Martin Luther King Jr., to stand in front of his classroom and speak to students his age but with a higher wisdom that is equal to the teacher of that classroom or even higher. However, with the sole exception of inhabiting a 14-year body, Oldsey was able to realize something from his own humanitarian mindset, create a plan of action, be the change he wanted to see, fight for that cause, and be able to reach out and spread his desired message on a global scale while simultaneously making an impact and bringing about an effective change. Gregory Smith, a two-time nominee for the Nobel Peace Prize, is well known for his work as a motivational speaker and as an advocate for children and international peace. Gregory Smith was a kid prodigy when he first began and one of the most inspirational, motivating, and living up to his course, hasn't ceased fighting for what he initially started for, and the world will experience more peace thanks to his leadership as well. Number 2. Kim Ung-yeon. He was there long before anyone else and at a very young age, about the same as everyone else, with the only difference being topping up by a notch in tens or 100s in terms of having an astounding and rather shocking IQ level of 210. Kim Ung-yeon is currently many things that others are still thriving to become. This person seriously took his life in a lot of different directions from the moment he could speak, which was at the age of 6 months, to the time he was able to read multiple languages, including Korean, of course, Japanese, German, and English by the time he was 3, and by the time he was 4, when he was able to solve extremely difficult mathematical equations live on television, NASA came looking for him. He applied while he was in his teens for a job there and worked there for another 4 years, earning the respect of the top researchers at NASA. Number 1. Akrit Joswal. When they were 7 years old, most boys were naturally curious and would open up their toy cars to see how they worked, where the cords went, what each part did, etc. Yet, despite his bravery, Akrit thought it was more intriguing to open up a person's body and examine their internal organs and components because he knew that a negligent jerk with the surgical knife in his hand may cause someone to lose a life-sustaining organ. Akrit deserves the highest praise for his bravery in this situation as well as his self-assurance and skill. These young people are getting smarter and smarter. India is well renowned around the world for its fervent spiritual beliefs and children who are endowed by God. Akrit is endowed with a wealth of intelligence that is so superior to others his age and both younger and older than him. What do you think about our video? Let us know in the comment box below. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Thank you.